Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shelly and I'm ridiculously glad you guys are here. I decided today that I needed to film stuff because I'm traveling a lot for work and I don't want to fall too far behind. So I'm filming this, but in the reality, I'm not starting to use this product line until about the time this actually goes up. I'll actually think. So this will seem like it's in real time, but this is actually, you know, past Shelly talking to you right now, planning for the future. I'm just gonna get into it. So today we're doing a Shop My Stash, and I've been doing that this year in 2022, where I pick something, some set of palettes to focus on. And I started last year when I was doing this. I would pick palettes that just kind of either interested me on a season maybe, or a color story that I wanted to get over my fear of. And this year I've really been focused on trying to focus on a brand or maybe a couple brands, because I feel like there's a lot of palettes that I have with certain brands and they get lost in everything else. Like I got them, I liked them, and then I'm a magpie and I moved on to something else. So I'm really trying to focus myself on getting back into, let's really figure out if a brand is gonna work for me. And if it doesn't, let's get rid of it. We don't need to hoard eyeshadow palettes, but sometimes we do. This is not even all of them. That's the craziest thing. This is not all of them. Anyway, so today's brand, if you guys couldn't tell, if I didn't put it in the subject line, I don't know if I will or not, I'm actually going to use Juvias Place. I have a bunch of Juvias Place here. I'm gonna go through with my collection, and these are gonna be the palettes I focus on this next go round. So for the next month and a half, probably a month and a half. When I travel for work, I tend not to take anything too bright and colorful. However, I've been discovering some of the palettes that I've been focused on actually work really well for work. So I'll come back and do my favorite travel-friendly eyeshadow palettes, are the ones that work well for me. You might not have a work situation where you travel for work, but it's a whole other conversation. Anyway, let me show you. Let me show you what I'm going to be focused on because I'm super excited. I can tell you a couple things about Juvias Place before we get started. One is, in general, they're very pigmented. Second thing, it is a Black-owned brand, neither here nor there. However, I think they have that in mind when they formulate some of the pigments. Like, it's meant to be, or it's intended to perform well on darker complexions. Great. Okay. Third thing is, I have really good luck when I purchase the products from Ulta. They have a display there, maybe not everything, but they have quite a bit. So I've enjoyed purchasing from Ulta. When I purchased from their website directly, I've had some weird experiences. I've had a couple palettes have come in and busted. One of them ended up in Australia and took like months to get to me. I can't remember how many times I've ordered from them online, but I would say, to be safe, probably better just to pick it up at your local Ulta. I wouldn't even say ordering it from Ulta online would be probably one of my least favorite things to try to do, just because I don't think Ulta's warehouse packs things very well. It's not a super expensive brand, but you still don't want to throw away your hard-earned money, and the hassle of trying to exchange it, it's just not worth it. So I'm going to actually show you a couple of these I've actually done videos on, so if I'm smart, I'll link it down in the description box, and then you can reference them if they're all interesting to you. If there is a palette in here that you're like, oh my gosh, I love that, leave me a comment, let me know, because I will come back and do multiple looks with that palette. If it's something that you were either interested in purchasing, maybe you saw it somewhere, maybe it was on sale somewhere, and you're like, oh, that's interesting, I don't know. Or if you have already picked it up and you're looking for a reason to get back into it, maybe take a different spin on it, I can come back and do several looks with the same palette. You just leave me a comment below and tell me which one interests you most. So first one I'm going to show you is, this one's the Nomad. I love this palette. I love the grungy greens. This gold right here is probably not one that I use more than other ones, but if I'm going to try a yellow eyeshadow look, this is great. This shimmer right here in the middle, oh, so creamy. Love that. Can you see how highly foiled that is with one swipe? Beautiful. Love, love, love the pigment in these. I think I mentioned that earlier. This is the Nubian 3 Coral palette. Love this one. This is so nice. You have a nice combination of some cooler tones in here, but then also these warmer pops of color. I felt this was super versatile. This bronze probably is my favorite shade in this palette. Then this one's called the Tribe. I don't think I've actually, oh yeah, I've used this. This is a little intimidating. The pan size in this, these are ginormous. Let me compare for just a second. I want you to see comparison in the, so this is the Pat McGrath mini palette. This is 6 shades. It's almost like you could fit all 6 shades just into 2 shades of these are huge pan sizes. So maybe this isn't the, I just want to play with it and experiment that I'm gonna pan it. I don't think you're gonna pan these because they're really big pans. You can get a nice big fluffy brush in there though too, which makes it kind of fun if you're gonna use some of these shades for other parts. Like if you're gonna use that as a shimmer on your cheekbone, or maybe that as a contour, I think you've got it. I think you've got these beautiful shades right here for eyeliner, especially on brown eyes. Beautiful. This is really fun, maybe even a little intimidating, but I think they do a pretty good job with their color story of coming up with things that are really versatile. So I'm gonna try to get over my fear of some of that green. This is another one. I've actually done a video on this. This is another beautiful palette. It's the same size. Pans are huge. This is probably my least favorite shade in any eyeshadow palette, let alone one to use on my eyes, but there you go. If I needed a frosty look, I wouldn't use this all over my lids. This is an accent color. Then we got another one of those bronzes in here, a raspberry. Oh, I'm so excited. This is just exactly what I needed. I was kind of in a funk today, and now I'm like, oh, I'm shopping my own stash. I'm gonna use some of the stuff that I already own, which is great. I'm gonna get more familiar with Juvia's Place on a light medium complexion. Okay, this is another one here. This is the Warrior, I think this was the first Warrior palette. I'm not doing these in any kind of order. Ooh, I've got a broken shade right here. It looks like I tried to press it down before. Oh yeah, that's gonna slide right out of here if I'm not careful. So I'm gonna need to doctor this one up. Just know that this shade right here is the one that I'm trying to gingerly keep in here. But this is a neutral palette. It's got some golds. I'm kind of feeling like I'm a little bit over gold eyeshadow right now. I don't know why. It's been played out. This is a gorgeous shade. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful bronze. They do bronzes so well. Feeling like I've got a late summer bronze moment coming on here. Okay, and then this is the Nubian 2. This is a little bit bigger of a palette than the last one. You get more shades. This is beautiful. 12 shades in this one. The purple, ugh, to die for. This green, another bronze, a cooler toned shimmer. This will be great all over the lid with a little bit of one of these darker colors to kind of, you know, smoke it out a little bit. So exciting. Now, this isn't the last, well, this is second to the last of the kind of larger palettes. This is another, this is the Wahala palette, which means drama, which means you can kind of guess what this one looks like. These are smaller pan sizes, but you have so many shades in here to choose from, and some really, really intense glitters. This one, this one, this one. If you want to keep glitter off of your eyes and from getting in your eyes and all that kind of thing, put a piece of tape over it, maybe dig them out. Or if you're excited to use them on your body. Don't do what I've done in the past and use them on your eyes. This is such a beautiful palette. I don't think I've done a video on this one. I don't think I have, but I can tell you, this as a transition, all of a sudden this palette becomes infinitely more wearable when you know that when you can identify those. I think you can look down a column and see how an eye look looks together. I think it's a little bit more challenging to go across a row, but I think you can. I think you can get a look that way. I think maybe the squares for some of these are going to be the way to go. Yeah, that might be our challenge. That might be our challenge, is how many looks we can come up with this palette. If you guys want me to play with this on camera, please let me know, because this one is scary, intimidating, and looks like a lot of fun. And like I said, I don't think I've filmed anything yet on it. I have sitting in here several blushes. I have another blush duo and a bronzer duo that were just sitting here on the shelf with all the rest of the Juvia's Place stuff. So I think I had filmed with the blush and bronzer duo recently. This is the smallest of the Juvia's Place palettes that I have. This is the Rebel Army. They had, I want to think, 4 that came out at this time. One of them was gray. There might have been an orange one. I feel like there was another like minty green one. And then this one. This one is the one that interested me the most. So beautiful. The formula. Oh, look at that. It's like a Kelly green. Woo! And this one's a little bit more of a dusty green. Oh yeah. I'm like a magpie. And I think this is actually a great curated palette, because you have like the darker shade and you have the shimmer. And sometimes that's all you need. Sometimes you don't need to go overboard with too many choices, like the drama one. I have a whole collection of these little bad boys, so I'm gonna quickly go through them. This one is the Taupes. It's a 6-pan eyeshadow palette in taupe. Yep, everyday, perfectly cool tone wearable. There's no challenge there. This one's the Berries, and it is a berry toned palette. You know I like the fact that they stay true to the name. There's sometimes when you, sorry, I've got an itch in my eyebrow. Sometimes you, okay, good. Sometimes you get a name for something and it doesn't tell you what it is. Business names sometimes, like, what are you selling? What's your service? Because I can't tell by your name. This one is the nudes, and as you would expect, it is a nude palette. A little bit lighter probably than what I'm used to, and I think these two shades are very similar. Kind of hard to see that far away. Here, hold on, let's focus. They're very, very similar, but just slightly different. I'll be curious to see what that looks like on the eyeball, because I don't think I've played with that one at all. This one is the chocolates, as you would expect, the chocolate palette. With some super dark shades in here. Those two look very, very similar, don't they? You have to see what those look like on the eyeball as well. The mauves, or mauve. Now, I want to compare this to the berries, because you might be like, oh, do I need one if I have the other? That's the berries, this is the mauves, and they are not the same palettes. Variation on a theme, maybe, but not the same palettes. And then I have one more to kind of compare in that, and that is, actually I think I have two more. This is the violets. We're gonna compare this to the same palette. Cool toned, whereas the berries all of a sudden become significantly warmer. Sorry. The berries become significantly warmer when you pair them next to the violet. It's violet. I almost think this is, yeah, this is like a royal blue purple. And then for fun again, let's put it up next to the mauves, just so you can see how drastically different those two color stories are. I lost one of my little protective covers. And then these are two of the newer ones. This is the blushing rose. Again, doesn't look like the other ones. And then they've got a bronzed palette. I think this is like rustic bronze, does it say? Yeah, bronze rustic is what that one is. So this is the only one that has like this crazy orange and kind of a mustard in these smaller format palettes. Then I have one more palette, and this is what inspired me to do Juvia's Place as my Shop My Stash focus for this time period. And that's this one. I picked this up. This is the last one, the most recent one I picked it up. I think I picked it up last month, and it's been sitting here on my desk. I was going to film with it, and I'm so far behind in filming. I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you guys this and then let you guys tell me if this interested you at all. Do you want me to come back and do multiple looks with it to kind of justify whether or not you should look at purchasing it? These pans are not as big as some of the ones from the earlier like 12 pan palettes. These are smaller, which I like, actually. And this is a little chaotic. There's so much color in here. They do and I do a lot of monochromatic looks, so it's nice that they have like a monochromatic color story down each row. I think that down a diagonal, you get a little bit more interest across a row. Some of those are a little intimidating. That's gonna be a hard one for me to try to put together a look for. Could I do squares? Yeah, I think there's some squares that are interesting. Some look a little bit more cohesive than others, but I think you have a lot of choices, a lot of combination. And this isn't horribly huge. So this is a ColourPop palette that is one of their mega palettes. It's just slightly smaller. It's a large palette. If you don't like large palettes, don't get this one. Here's one of the Morphe ones. This is a Nikita Morphe palette, just to kind of see comparison size-wise. So it's a little taller even than the Morphe palette, and it's taller and shorter. Yeah, taller and shorter than the Morphe palette. And I think that's about the normal regular Morphe mega palette. So this is Culture. This is, I think, this is the newest large palette that I've seen from Juvia's Place. It's fun. It's fun for summer. There's not a ton of neutrals in here. I gotta be honest, it's a little intimidating. That might be one of the reasons why I haven't filmed with it yet, because I'm scared of it. Hence the reason for me to dive into it. I bought the thing, might as well use it. Let's see. So I'm gonna play with this. I'm gonna play with this. This looks to me like a date night, a date night palette. But you know, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. I'm scared. Where am I putting it back in that? Don't put it back in that. Okay, guys, that's it for this video today. I don't need that either. I'm doing a lot of Juvia's Place palettes. This is my entire Juvia's Place collection of eyeshadow palettes. I do have a number of the lipsticks, lip liners, complexion products, probably have a powder. I know I've got several of the blushes. I'm gonna sneeze. Sneeze is over. Okay, I'm super excited to play with some of these Juvia's Place ones. So if one of these caught your eye, leave me a comment down below. Tell me, do you have any of these? Do you have any interest in any of these? Do you wanna see multiple looks with it? Give me your feedback. If you've got any question or any recommendations for maybe a brand that I should be focusing looks done for fall, let me know. I would love your guys' input on this too. I've got a lot of brands. It's almost a little overwhelming on where to start. So if you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Just know that there isn't another YouTuber that loves you guys as much as I do. And I'm so grateful that you guys would spend time with a lady of a certain age who's not a professional makeup artist. I'm not sponsored by Juvias Place. I get nothing in PR from them. They don't know that I'm doing this video. I hope you guys are doing really well, and until my next video, bye for now.